I made an automatic farm for every single item in the game of Minecraft. Let's see how automated we can make a new farm for the tall and short dry grass. You can originally find it inside of deserts and badlands, and then use your shears or a silk touch tool to get the item. Now we can place it down on any type of dirt, sand, or terracotta, and then using bone meal on it, we'll place in new shorter ones around it if there's room. This is a good start to our farm, but it's quite crude and we can do so much better. First, let's restrict where the plant can actually grow the new ones. We can do this by removing the blocks that tries to place them on top of all except for one. That way we can focus on just harvesting this one. We can also automate the bone milling process by placing in a dispenser that is facing towards the dry grass and then filling it up with bone meal. Now whenever it gets powered, it will automatically bone mill it and place in a new one. But we don't want to manually be flicking this lever, so we're going to come in and automate the powering system by putting in two observers pointing away from each other that push their power into a block that's touching the dispenser. So now all we have to do is focus on breaking the grass, but the items we're harvesting are falling all over the place. We could try to pick them up by having a hopper underneath, but the items are too far for the hopper to pull them in. But luckily dry grass can also grow on all dirt types including mud, so if we switch this out for a mud block, it being a shorter block will let the items get closer to the hopper so they can get pulled in. But some items still pop off to the side and never get picked up. So we're going to place in some blocks on this side as well as the opposite side to help funnel the items into the center. But some items are still falling outside of the mud where the other grass is. So we'll swap out that block in the back with another mud block and then place the dry grass back on top. But now there's still items that end up falling over there. So we're going to come underneath of that mud block and also place in another hopper and point it into the previous one and have both hoppers pointing into a chest. Now the problem is if you AFK, you're going to break the mud block over time. We can easily solve this just by standing far enough away so we can only break the grass but not the block. But now we have the problem that we're only getting the short dry grass and none of the tall one. We can fix this problem by coming in with a temporary block and then placing a dispenser up against it so that's facing towards our short grass. Then we'll hook it up to the same observer clock up above just by placing a solid block above it. Now once we put in some bone meal, it will automatically grow the short one into a tall one. But now we have the problem that we can't reach the grass. So we need a block that has a small gap to let us reach it, but not so big that the items can fall out of it. And the cheapest block that can do this job is just a chest block. Now we can stand away and aim right through this little corner here, and the items cannot escape the farm. But now we have the problem that the farm is so fast that the hoppers can't store the items away fast enough. So to prevent the hoppers from clogging it up, we're going to come in underneath and place in another hopper pointing in this direction, which will push its loot into this new chest. Now with two hoppers we can pick up and store as much as 18,000 items per hour. And we can make the farm produce this many items per hour by making our observer clock slightly faster by having a sticky piston back here. And then when we push this observer forward and then retract it, it's going to make the observer clock pulse even faster. Notice how much faster the grass grows now. And by putting a lever on this dispenser, you can toggle between short and tall mode. Subscribe for more.